Welcome back to the program, and time now for our political panel. Labor frontbencher Amanda Rishworth is in our Adelaide studio. In Brisbane, we have Government MP Andrew Laming. Thanks both for your time today. Andrew Laming, I'd like to ask you again about when this becomes a war. When the RAAF is dropping bombs in Iraq, surely that's Australia at war.
Look, everyone uses different language. I don't think the average person out there really cares about choice of words. They care about the deployment, the commitment. Australia is part of a coalition. This is a rogue organisation that must be stopped, and Tony Abbott's doing the right thing, and we appreciate the opposition's support.
Amanda Rishworth, the PM says when ISIL is degraded in Iraq and the Iraqi government is stable, that will effectively be mission accomplished for Australia. Are you happy with that as the mission outline?
Well, look, obviously it's early days, but the opposition has been briefed by the government, and we've certainly supported the action so far. Certainly we've supported the humanitarian action as well as the current deployment of personnel to the United Arab Emirates. And look, we will obviously continue to get briefings from the government, but as Bill Shorten said, is we are with partners with the government when it comes to national security.
I want to turn as well to what's happening on the home front with this Muslims for Australia barbecue, for example. Andrew Laming, we heard Jamal Rifi say sometimes sensational media headlines aren't helpful. Is there more that can be done from the non-Muslim community to help the cohesion?
We can all do more. One thing that won't change is that media will always love sensationalism. So let's work with what we can change. I mean, non-Islamic Australians are immensely frustrated by this issue, and they do feel locked out of what is happening predominantly in inner urban Islamic communities. And it's not an issue like bullying that's nationwide. There is a frustration here that we are seeing Australia used as a convenience port of call, and they want a lot more happening with both Islamic Australians showing that they are determined to stop this radicalisation and not just leaving it to one or two spokespeople to do that.
Amanda Rishworth, is it more the government should be doing, or is it up to, as Andrew Laming says, more of the moderate leaders?
Well, look, I think everyone has a responsibility to promote an inclusive society. I think the leaders really have to be commended for the work they did yesterday, really demonstrating that the extremists out there are indeed a small minority. This isn't about a particular faith. This is about an extreme ideology that's barbaric and really is evil in so many ways. So I think there's a responsibility on everyone, on politicians, on the community, the non-Islamic and Islamic community, to really work together, to have a shared understanding and really work together in promoting peace and inclusion and tolerance.
I'd like to turn now to some comments from John Howard when it comes to a couple of the Royal Commissions we've seen lately, namely the one into union governance and also home insulation. He said he wasn't really comfortable with these, what he described as political Royal Commissions. He said, I don't think you should ever go down the American path of using the law for narrow, targeted political purposes, that they are appalling. Andrew Laming, a pretty damning assessment from one of your own.
Look, I'd accept every word of John Howard there. He's not referring to the Union Royal Commission, which I think is uncovering all sorts of inappropriate activity, but he's referring, I think, more so to pink bats about a public verdict already having been delivered. But those coronial inquiries into pink bats told us what happened but not how, so I understand you need a Royal Commission to take you to that next step, to get to the bottom of it and really bring full information, justice for those 4 affected families.
Amanda Rishworth, are you taking notes for when Labor gets into power, what Royal Commissions you might have your eye on?
Well, look, let's be clear. John Howard joins a list of a number of former Prime Ministers, including Bob Hawke and Malcolm Fraser, from all sides of politics. They are calling the Abbott government's, many number of Royal Commissions into what they are, and that is politically motivated. There are other courses of action with the pink bat scheme that was that established what the circumstances were. In terms of these Royal Commissions, I think most Australians are scratching their head and sort of thinking, why are we spending tens of millions of dollars into these Royal Commissions when I'm having my pension cut, when I'm having to now pay $7 to go to the doctor, and money's being cut from my hospitals and schools? I think there's a lot of confusion out there, and John Howard's really called the government.
Andrew Laming, very quickly, the PM up north, a push for representatives of the Indigenous community to have seats in Parliament reserved for them. Very quickly, your thoughts?
Yeah, no support for that whatsoever, Tom. We're a single nation. We don't want political structures based on race. We have already Indigenous representatives in both chambers of Parliament and will continue to. That's the way to do it.
Amanda Ishworth, 15 seconds is all we've got. What do you got for us?
Well, look, discussing how we best recognise our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders in the Constitution is an important conversation to have, but we need to work out how we get this on the agenda and actually fix a wrong that has been there for some time.
OK, Amanda Ishworth and Andrew Laming, thanks very much for your time today. Thank you, of course, for watching at Lunchtime Agenda. Stay with us for Newsday and Ash Gillen.